Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to TS Digital Tea Time. Tonight we have, let me fix this real quick. Tonight we have an interview with TV Bond. I hope you guys are ready for that. I'm sorry, I'm just going to fix my curtain real quick right here because I know I look a mess. Sorry. Okay. So, Florida, it was raining. I went out for ice cream with my hubby. And hi, Andrea, how are you? I'm changing it up tonight. You guys ready for this? I can't believe I'm doing this. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm changing it up tonight. We're doing wine. I know, it's like a Moscato, so... Oh, TV Bond is ready. All right, well, she's coming on. I'm pouring the wine. I know it's just not the same as the vodka slushy, but I feel like being, kind of elegant or so. Hi, Janelle. Hi,
Hi.
Tia.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I was just pouring some wine, so I was like, well,
I'm like, you got wine?
yes.
Oh.
And right now, people in the comments are like, what? No vodka? I know, guys. Oh, you got water. I'm usually hitting up the vodka, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna drink this bottle, and I'll go. Hey, Envy, I'll drink this tonight, and then on Friday, I have a interview with Ryan Osborne, and then maybe I'll bring out the vodka then because I think he's drinking.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Hi,
Hi,
Selena.
Selena. How are you? So, Tia, am I saying that right? Right? That's what the T stands for in TV.
Yes.
What's the B stand for? Can I ask?
Oh, my last name's hyphenated.
Oh, okay.
That is literally my initials.
Oh. Well, there you go. That was like TV Bond. Well, there you go. What made you choose that name?
Originally I was actually going to do sci-fi and not do paranormal. And so I wanted to have a little bit of ambiguity.
Yes.
Like all the greats. Many of the greats. And so that's why I did that. And then I was like, well, I'm writing paranormal too. So it's like, oh, whatever.
Envy Rose writes, I used to have Wine Wednesdays. Should we start a Wine Wednesday? Envy, I'd be happy to do Wine Wednesdays with you.
Okay.
She is in a pod from Selena. Jarnell says we're looking great or looking awesome. Yay. Thank you, Jarnell. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know, like, he's always on here. Oh my goodness. So how was your day?
My day was pretty good. I mean, it was pretty busy, but it was a lot more tuned down today than it was the last couple of days. I still got a day job, so sometimes it gets kind of intense. You're like, oh my God.
Am I allowed to ask what you do?
Oh, I'm a graphic artist and programmer.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Yay. What kind of graphic art do you do? Like magazines, websites? What do you do?
In my day job, courseware development. And everybody's like, what is that? Yeah, so training. I don't make as much training as I used to. So now it's more, I use my graphic arts more towards the my books more so than I do at work. Though occasionally it does come up and I got to do some website SharePoint stuff, or I have to go and code something that somebody has as broke. Because I'm mostly a system administrator, so yeah.
Oh, that's good,
I am a glorified teacher.
Well, let me see. I'm looking at your hair. You have this red bow. Is that?
Oh, yeah.
That is? Oh, how pretty is that? Oh, my goodness. Do you often wear bows and stuff in your hair?
I try to dress it up. Sometimes I have a flower, sometimes a bow. You just get sometimes the curly fro just needs some help besides.
I like it. That's your natural hair color and texture, yeah?
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yes. These little corkscrew curls go right on my head.
That looks great. So, well, the people watching know Tia TB Bond. Can you tell us a little about what you write?
Oh my gosh, sexy, exciting, diverse romance. That's what's on my website. So what does that mean? That means you're gonna laugh, It's going to be some sexy times, and you're going to see all kinds of couples and all kinds of people. That's pretty much what it is. Adventure. Get ready. Get ready. I've been told that I am a high concept person.
Wow.
So yeah, definitely. I love fantasy. Read a lot of it. That's actually primarily what I read when I'm reading on my own, and with stuff that's not my work. So there's a lot of fantasy element to my work. So yeah.
All right, so Sinner writes, you ain't never lie. Naturalistas need bows. So when you say fantasy, are you talking like fairies and unicorns and dragons, or fantasy like more like urban fantasy, like
Fantasy unicorns and dragons. You got it. I will mix
Okay,
that with just about anything. I will mix that with just about anything.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say diverse, what does that mean?
So that means that you're probably going to see a person of color as the lead. You're probably going to see that. There are some times where, like my Love, Sex, and Magic series, that one is more multicultural, where you're going to see various leads of different races. And so that one, I guess, is all over the place in that. Paris in Springtime is a little bit more focused, where there's definitely going to be at least one POC. And then,
now, well, I was gonna say, what inspired you to write diversity into your books and not stick with like a certain ethnicity or race, or in a certain genre?
well, I am a swirler. I swirl. My husband is not black.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
My husband hails from the Caucasus Mountains.
Oh my goodness, I love that video. What was the name?
Yes, he hails. He does. He's been invited to the cookout permanently, but he hails from the Caucasus Mountains. And so I don't say I don't write African American romance, because I do, but primarily I write what I'm married to. So because I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Let me just write this. So it's like I leave it open to whatever I feel like doing, but mostly I do write BWWM, yes, which is Black woman, white male. I will write something different sometimes, but mostly that's what I write.
So do you take from your own experiences that since you're writing that way, you're like, I'm writing this because this is what I know, or is it just what you enjoy? Or
some of it is my experiences. It's kind of hard because there's no magic in the world. So it's like, well, it's not that kind of magic. I would say I do write from my experiences, though. I will say my life is a little bit more complex than my characters' lives, as far as that I create more tension with the situations they have and how they feel about each other, and a little bit less of what someone else's thoughts about them being together, which sometimes I run into, and sometimes it's all gravy. It's like,
yes.
Hi, Mona.
Hi, Mona. How are you? I saw that Yongdo was also in the room. Now, so what you're saying is, instead of focusing on like the external conflicts that might arise from an interracial relationship, you focus instead on the internal conflicts that might arise from an interracial relationship, or just any relationship in general.
Yes, or I might even throw another wrench in the work, and they have issues that have nothing to do with ethnicity at all, and something different, like a cat and a rabbit getting together. And matter of fact, in Rezone, which is a very short story, but it's cute, that was an issue they brought up. They were just like, well, what we're gonna do? You're a cat and I'm a rabbit. He said, then we'll have cabbits.
I hadn't swallowed yet. I was reading Theodore Lacrosse's comment. Hi, Theodore.
Hi, Theodore.
And then, well, that's amazing. Do you find that you have any, like, how does the industry, like, do you run into any problems in the industry writing interracial? Because I've heard from other authors, they sometimes get kind of discriminated against slightly for writing interracial romances. Have you run into that, or have you been cool sailing, or?
In general, I've been cool sailing, but considering this is actually my life, that static I just ignore. I
Oh,
mean, I can literally walk down the street with my husband and have that same drama. So it's water under the bridge.
yes.
I mean,
Well,
yeah.
I was just curious because I spoke to, I think it's Jay Zavaris, who said that, she was having sometimes a little issue like in some of the urban groups
Hmm.
and stuff, because they were kind of like, you know, um, is it, does it not count as an African American romance if there's a Caucasian main character in it?
Right.
Is that why, or does it, like, is interracial its own genre, or can you still classify your work as African American, like romance? Like, how would you, where do you put your book? I seriously, I'm sorry if I'm ignorant on this, I really actually don't know.
No, that's a good question. I'm gonna tell you honestly, I would consider it its own category, but the industry does not. So I have no
Oh,
choice but to be in one box or the other. And
oh,
so, based upon how I feel the story is unfolding and what I have tackled in the story, I typically honestly go to African American
oh,
because a lot of the things and the way I view the world, I think would be best. I think more African Americans would probably, I think it would fit better there. I'm not saying that y'all from the Caucasus Mountains couldn't enjoy it. I think you can. I mean, I'm married to a man, and he understands what I'm talking about. He's hilarious, to be honest with you. I try to write stories for, I try to write, what I'm trying to do is have representation, but I also recognize that everyone is not on the same page. I think a lot of people could read my stories and enjoy them, of all races and ethnicities. Well, there's only one race, really, it's ethnicities. So, yeah, I think people can dig it. Yeah, try me out. Seriously, try me out. Because the way I write my story, especially with my paranormal, it's more sitting at the top of the mountain.
I know, I'm reading the comments coming out. Yonga is married to an African American man, and Selena, who's African American, is actually married to a Caucasian man, I believe.
Yeah, there you go.
I believe, right? Selena, are you, or maybe I got that wrong. You know what? My MS brain is,
It's gonna be
yeah,
on.
I just never know.
She said, try me out, dirty. Oh my gosh. I was gonna say, you would have thought I drank some wine. It's just water. But
Well, that's
yeah,
okay. I'll drink for both of us. I'm
there you
used to
go.
drinking on wine. Yeah.
But seriously, yeah, I definitely, I feel like people could enjoy my story. I think someone can find something of themselves in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Also, too, I'm from Southeast Virginia, Hampton Roads, 757. That's for y'all that don't know, that's like Norfolk and everything.
Yeah.
And that area. That's all people know is Norfolk and Virginia Beach.
Yes.
So
So
that area is really weird. This area is really weird.
So Selena writes, yes, ma'am. My husband is of the ghost people. People think I'm a single mom. Oh, is a ghost. People think I'm a single mom and a sexy mom, I'm sure. But my husband is a robot with real squinty ears. Oh, Selena writes, oh my God, Tia, we live near each other. And that's because, now, are you military, prior military, anything like that?
No, family. My family's military.
Okay,
My
because
dad
you
is the
mentioned
military.
Norfolk, which Selena's military husband and stuff. Okay.
Oh yeah, this place is super military. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I live in Portsmouth. That way, if you see me at the grocery store, it won't be weird.
Yeah.
I'm in Portsmouth.
Like Envy writes, I feel like I'm just joining the convo. So I am a single Latina. Hey Envy, I'm half Latina. My mom's Puerto Rican. Yeah, I know, right? Dad's from the northern Scandinavian
There you go.
mountains. God rest his soul. But yeah, he was from Norway. My dad was.
I am not Latina, but a lot of people think so.
Really?
I find that amusing. I've been Mexican many, many times, in good ways and bad ways. So I'm like, all right, work it out.
Selena's right where she's at. So, why fantasy?
Why fantasy? Oh, what? I love it. I see you, Hampton area. Hampton. Selena and Hampton. I know where Fort Eustis is. Fantasy. Well, I've always been drawn to it. To be really okay. So let me tell you how this whole thing started.
Okay.
You're gonna love this. So first off, science fiction. My dad loves science fiction. He made me weird. Thank you, Dad. Happy Father's Day. You got a weird daughter for Father's Day. Because literally, I was born the day before Father's Day.
Oh.
So, yeah, my dad, we're talking about, when I was a little kid, my dad took me to the Wrath of Khan. Scared the crap out of me. I love the movie except for that part about the earwigs that gets me to this day.
I know, that was awful.
I grew up with Doctor Who. I didn't know that's what I was looking at on PBS though. Took me a while to figure that out. Star Wars, Star Trek. We watch Star Trek every day. And
which
so
one? The old one or the new one? Like Next Generation, Deep Space
We watched
Nine?
the old one until Next Gen came out. By the time I was really understanding what was happening, Next Gen came out. And so Jean-Luc Picard, that's my dad's captain.
Fucking sexy, ain't he?
Yes. Yes.
Really sexy.
He will not hear otherwise. His captain is Jean-Luc Picard.
I know, right? And because of him, I always liked bald men. Like when Vin Diesel came out with Riddick, I married a bald man.
I did not marry a bald man. But I did marry a man in Star Trek. I did do that. Thanks for birthday.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just got hit with I just got a warning against community standards somewhere about spam. I don't know. In one of the groups I posted at. Dude, I tell you what, sometimes I'm just with Facebook,
They're catching people for comments that they made years ago. A couple people have gotten notices about something they said in 2010.
Yeah. Must be bald. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I've loved a lot of bald men. Like I feel like I have enough hair for everybody. You don't need it.
Oh, I definitely got a lot of hair.
You know? No, I do. I don't know why I liked bald men. I guess because it just, I grew up in the 90s. Do you remember when like people were bald and then they had like the goatee?
Yes.
Yes, I just always.
Yes, the mustache, goatee, and the bald head. That's like where the Cisco was like that. I'm just saying.
So I love it. I'm annoyed now that Facebook's hitting me with these warnings. It's interrupting my live because it's flashing against my screen.
It's like your past will find you out.
I just posted that thing like yesterday in a private group. I think I was in Sassy. What was Sassy's last name? I was in Sassy something for Terra Hotel's release. So it was actually one of those, I don't know what you would call posts, but I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe someone didn't like it and reported me or something. You just never know with people. When you go visit different groups and stuff, you just never know.
Yeah, you gotta be careful sometimes.
Yeah. I'll do it after this.
But you will love how I started out my writing career.
Yeah.
As a child, I would write stories. We started out with murder.
That's how wow.
We started with murder, yes. And it was even better is my mom was trying to be so supportive. So she's over here driving to church and I'm reading her the story about how I murdered somebody. Well, not me, but my character. And these were like long stories. I was all proud of myself because I wrote stories with chapters. And I had this like serial killer named Angelica that killed people.
Oh my God, it's got such a sweet name, Angelica Killer People. So how old were you?
Probably 10. She said she was a little disturbed. I was like, oh, okay. But then I honestly, as I started becoming a little bit more involved in this, I started to become nervous that somebody was gonna like kill people using my ideas. So I stopped writing murder.
Oh, that's no fun. What's the best way to kill somebody then?
Oh, my favorite way, strangely enough, was to inject air into their veins so they would die of a stroke.
Really? That was how you did it? You know how I wanted to take somebody out? I wanted to drop poisonous spiders into the bed and say, I guess there was an egg sac there or whatever, you know, because
Right.
that was how
Oh,
I
and then
wanted
the
to do it.
water, put in water and then have them push them downstairs. Yeah, it was all kinds of crazy Final Destination stuff like that happening.
Oh my God. It's too funny. So then you went from murder to science fiction next or fantasy next?
Fantasy. I kind of went fantasy. I started writing fan fiction. I'm not going to tell you who I was on fanfiction.net, but I wrote a lot of fan fiction.
Was it sexy fan fiction? You can
Oh,
tell
of
us.
course. Well, at one point, fanfiction.net started banning lemons, which is what they call sexy parts of the story. And so I was writing lemons up until they banned them, and then I had to take them down, and then I would put them up on Media Miner and other places that were like that. But yes, I wrote fan fiction. So that's how you really, in my opinion, cut your teeth in this world, because fan fiction people are mean.
Like if it doesn't come out the way they want it. Well,
Yeah,
you know, fan fiction worked for a couple authors. I mean, it worked for Twilight, Stephanie Meyer, right? And it worked for
right.
what's her name, who wrote 50 Shades. She started out; those were all fan fiction, right?
That is
Stories.
true. I mean, I learned a lot about storytelling. My fan fiction's a hot mess. It needs a lot of editing. So
Yeah.
that's why another reason I wouldn't tell you. You feel like this is barely readable. But I learned a lot about storytelling and character development from that. And then also too, reviewers have no problem letting you know that you suck and your ideas suck and you're filth. So
And
I
be
had
Rose.
this, exactly. I had a story that had 100 flames. 100 flames. Because they hated the coupling so bad, even though the story was good. And so I was just like, well, I guess I'll just have 100 flames. Then at least y'all read the story.
Oh my God, Envy Rose. People are talking about how to murder people in the we're so like, you know, you got people in the comments are like, oh, you got to do this and here, bury the body here. This needs to be. Maybe you need to host like a, you know, one
I'm
day
going
we
to do
should.
plausible deniability because if I tell you what my thoughts are and something happens, then you're going to be like, oh, she did it.
Like, she came down from Virginia all the way to Florida to kill my husband.
They're going to be like, romance author kill her husband and crap like that. No, I did not kill him. He is safe in the other room. He is. I checked up on him a little bit ago. He made dinner.
So, what does your husband think of your profession?
Which profession?
Oh, well, both.
No, I'm just
Why
kidding.
not?
He's all like, actually, he's funny because he whatever makes you happy as long as it's not leaving him, that kind of thing. And so he thinks it's interesting, and I think he's proud of me. He seems like he's proud of me. He hasn't read a single thing, and I asked him
Oh.
about that like a little bit ago. And he said, "I haven't read anybody else either." So I was like, "Okay, that's fair."
Doesn't he want to read your sex scenes?
That's a good question. I'll be like, "Sweetie, you want to read my sex scenes?" He'll probably like, "No."
I feel like, do you want me to read them to you?
Naked?
Naked?
Hey, baby. No, he probably not gonna get involved in that because we know what happens then. So,
You're like, well, this is so neat. So, tell us, how many books do you have published?
I have 15 fiction books published.
Oh, wow.
I have 15 fiction books, and I also have notebooks too that I do for people who just want to write in a notebook. And I
Really?
got,
Like, you just make them pretty and print them, or?
yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Matter of fact, here's one right here.
Look at that. Oh, how neat is that? Be fierce. So, and you sell those? Like, you sell those on Amazon or?
I do.
Oh my goodness. There you go, guys. If you need a notebook, as an authors out there, we can never have enough of those.
Exactly. That's kind of why I made it. It's like, okay, I got notebooks for me.
Oh my God,
So,
that's so great. What
so,
company do you use? Like you just upload it? Like how do you even go about doing something like that? Like what made you
oh,
do it?
I do it through CreateSpace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Selena writes, "Ooh, yeah, I'm a notebook whore." I know, right?
Oh, are you? Well, then check out Vanilla Mocha. That's what I make my notebooks under. Because I didn't want 30 million books to be under TB Bond. Then people couldn't find my fiction books.
Andrea writes, "I'm addicted to notebooks." See, look at you're coming on here, and
Oh,
your
great.
notebook sales are gonna skyrocket.
Well,
Watch.
that would be great. I appreciate you. Thank you. But yes, I love notebooks myself. So I thought, okay, this makes sense. This makes completely sense. It's,
Selena Michaels writes, "Vanilla mocha."
oh, yeah, you caught that, right?
And washi tape. Look at
I probably should make some washi
fire
tape. I
tonight.
have some. I got some right here.
Oh, Selena writes, "I also love pens." Yeah.
I
Note to
love
me.
pens too. I got a whole bunch of pens.
Really? Do you
Yeah,
handwrite your stuff like your books and that?
I most of the time I do. I will tell you that okay, so here's the evolution of me writing books. The first two books that I wrote on my phone
Oh my God.
back when I had a BlackBerry.
Oh my goodness.
Because I worked someplace where you could not have a camera phone, and BlackBerry was the only place that had a smartphone with no camera. They made a version, so I'm sitting here, got really bad carpal tunnels and neck pain, so I had to stop that.
Oh,
So I'm a toss up between writing by hand and typing very, very slowly. I will tell you, if I'm just free writing it, it's going to be slow. If I'm going to move fast, then I'm going to be, yeah, I'm going to be writing. Matter of fact, I have a work of art that's only half written, and most of it is still in a notebook, and I got to type it all up. And I'm
oh
like,
my
oh,
goodness.
I'm going to be dictation forever. Yeah, it's like crazy. Matter of fact, here, another notebook. This is before I started making mine. And this is a little piece of mail that I'm using as a bookmark to tell me where it is. But look at all that.
Oh my goodness.
You see how thick this notebook is?
Oh my goodness. And you wrote a
This
whole
is
book like there's a whole book in there?
this is half a book.
Half a book. Oh
This whole entire notebook is filled with writing, but this is only half the book.
my
This
goodness.
is I've got time. I actually have to start typing this up real soon.
Someone's asking, is that an
Probably
EC notebook?
it is. It is an EC notebook.
At least NB knows what you have. I'm just thinking it's a notebook. It's like, is that?
Yes, it's Erin Condren.
Uh,
Yes. Oh, yeah, it's the thing about these is you can custom the cover. So for my birthday last year, I got this.
oh, okay.
And so I wrote in it a couple months ago, and it's full now. And then I ended up having to buy another notebook, but theirs was kind of expensive. And I was like, okay, well, yeah, I can put any cover I want, but then why don't I just make my own notebooks? And that's how that started. Because my notebooks are less pages, true, but it's only $10. 200 pages, $10. I think it works.
There you go. And you put cool graphics on the front and stuff, right?
Right. Yes, because I was going to do that anyway. So now I can do that for less money.
That's so cool. Now, so you were saying you had 15 books published. Are they all romance or are they
All of them except 3.
really?
2 are, let's face it, erotica.
Oh.
They have romantic elements.
Yeah.
Because that's just within me.
So like romantic erotica.
Yes, because I wrote them with the intention to be an anthology, and I was an anthology. It was funny because the one of them, Getting Even, was so interesting because this lady is mad at this other lady, so she took her boyfriend. It's a short story. And then
naughty.
yes, and so it was writing her getting it on with the boyfriend, setting it up. It was just like, man.
Oh, wow.
And trying to convey such a, because I'm high concept, so I had to compact that down to such a small amount of words so that you could find out all of these things that are happening and not be too much. And then the other story, Love in a Space Elevator, is the other lady's response. Yes, Love in a Space Elevator. It makes you want to sing it, don't it? Love in a Space Elevator.
Now people are going through your backlist. So the two were erotica, and then one is
it's romance technically. It's sort of romance. That one's called Heavy Cross. I was gonna do an epic adventure, and then romance started to creep in, but it's not as obvious in the first book. You sort of see it. You see the beginnings of it in the first book, and then the second book, which again, halfway written. I got 30K of that one. I got all of that typed up though. I managed to get it all typed up, so we're all up to speed on that one. And the romance is a little bit more obvious with them, but it's not. Normally my stuff is hot, and that one is not. But it's still a good story.
Envy Rose writes, "Oh my God, you are so fun." And earlier, I think Selena thought you were her soul sister, and she's gonna be direct messaging you and stalking you, as she puts it.
So we're seeing each other in the grocery store now.
So, all right. So, you're two erotica, one romantic fiction, maybe kind of epic, and then the rest are romance, but interracial. Right. Are they all interracial, or all multicultural / interracial, or?
Yes, I would say they're all multicultural / interracial. Paris in Springtime is exclusively interracial.
Okay.
Love, Sex, and Magic series is just whatever. It's whatever.
Oh, wow.
That one, I will tell you that Love, Sex, and Magic is probably my most high concept series.
Really?
Even though people, and you know what? Because that was Shenanigans was my very first book.
Yeah.
And it's the first book, and so you're making mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
So I was a little too subtle with the story there, and so the result of that is when book 2 came along, that's when I realized, oh my God, I gotta fix this. And so since hardly anybody knew me, I went and fixed that, and I actually re-released it a couple months ago.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, so
how did
anybody who already watched that book, would you say?
Oh, what did people think?
Oh, I have no idea. They haven't said anything.
All right. Well, welcome. I see Lene and Crystal are up in the group coming over from Kantari's Pen is Lethal. Thank you guys for coming over from my, what I call my brother group. So Kantari's Pen is Lethal. So they were earlier doing, I think there was a interview, no, it wasn't an interview. It was, Mona was on there. I don't remember. It kept freezing up, so I couldn't watch it. So glad you're here with us now, though. So all right, so you have you were saying the 13 books, romance, fantasy, like, are all of them with like magic in them, you would say?
Yes, they all have magic in them. I will say that the Love in a Space Elevator and Getting Even do not have magic. They're just sci-fi erotica.
Okay.
The Hunter Creed, Heavy Cross has.
Sorry, I hope y'all didn't see my ass there. I just had to grab this out of my dog's mouth. Sorry, but
Yeah, Heavy Cross doesn't have magic yet. It's more sciencey.
Yeah.
Bordering on magic. The science is so high level, it's practically magic.
Yeah.
That one, kid, I told you I was a graphic artist and programmer, but did I tell you I also work in HR?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if you ever read that book, consider all of those things as you're reading it, because I put all that in there.
Like I just did. Now, and just so for those who just joined us, this is Tia. So it's Tia and Tia tonight. Hebe Bond. She writes interracial romance or multicultural / interracial romance. Mostly of the fantasy sort, like high fantasy with magic and fun stuff like that. And she's in KU, I'm being told, and she also does notebooks under Vanilla Mocha, which I love. So 13 books, 13 minus 3, 10 books. Did you self-publish all of them, or do you have a publisher?
Yes. Okay. Yes, I self-published all of them. Yeah, the sister. Yeah, you caught on to that. Vanilla Mocha. See, Vanilla Mocha.
I know, and I'm like creamy, right? Like milky. I'm very pale. Selena wants to know how long you've been in the industry.
I've been in the writing industry for 8 years.
Oh my goodness. So go through, what was the title, your first book to your last? Do you remember the order? Or
yes, I do actually.
Okay.
My very first book was Shenanigans.
Okay.
Second book was Debacle.
Okay.
Third book was Brave Little Tailor.
Ooh.
Fourth book was then I took a break for a while. It was unfortunate. Then I wrote The Sweetest Thing. Mm-hmm. I wrote King of Wishful Thinking. And while I was writing King of Wishful Thinking, I also wrote Getting Even, Love in a Space Elevator, Heavy Cross, and no, I didn't write Rezone yet. I wrote those, but I didn't put them out right away.
Yeah.
Then I got delayed, and they came out before King of Wishful Thinking. Then after that, I did, where am I now? Then I did Heavy Cross. I started Advent of a Goddess, which is the sequel to Heavy Cross, and then it just sits on my shelf. I have another story called My Fair Warrior that I wrote, just sitting on the shelf. I'm going to try and put that out next year. Yeah, because I got stuff that I've written and that just didn't put out.
Oh my goodness.
And then I did Rezoned. I held on to it though and did Just a Taste. Then I put out Rezone, and then Just a Taste. I put out Just a Taste, actually, even though it was written, I put that out in 2020, but I actually wrote it in 2019. I wrote after that, I did Kiss of a Shifter. And then I did Ursa Major, Basis of Comparison. And I am now working on I Gave You My Heart, which will be out in November.
So what would you say the average word count is of your books?
Yeah, see, that's kind of weird because for a while I was trying to churn out as many stories as possible. So that's why you see a lot of those shorter stories for a while.
Yeah.
So that's going to really mess up my word count. But writing the way my spirit tells me, my average word count is probably somewhere between 60 and 80K.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like so people can expect to get pretty much a full-length novel from you when they buy your work and stuff.
Yes, they can, but that they probably their expectations from me going to have to be low in the beginning because I was writing against type. As I would say, it's what you can expect from me now. In the beginning, you're probably like, "Oh, Shenanigans was only 50K," but then you read Debacle and it's almost 100. So you're like, "Ah!"
So you said that you also moving into paranormal.
Right.
So when you say you're moving somewhat out of fantasy into paranormal, what does that mean?
So, a lot of us will say that a lot of fantasy elements are also in paranormal, and I would agree with you there. But there are certain elements to my writing that is considered high fantasy. So that's why I try to say a lot of times to people, I write paranormal romance with high fantasy elements. So if you're going to see mages in there, I have like all of these classes of people. I've got your mages, and then I got all types of shifters. Got cat shifters, jaguar shifters, rabbit shifters, zebra shifters, unicorn shifters, mermaids.
Oh my goodness.
I've got mages, I've got a paranormal hospital, supernatural hospital. I've got a whole culture. I put all that in the area where I live too, so Selena can enjoy that. She'll recognize some of the places.
Oh wow. Now, all right, you seem so passionate. Do you have a favorite book that you've written? Like, which is your favorite?
Oh my gosh. I'm the person who the latest baby is always the favorite. So right now my favorite is Hunter's Creed because you sweat and you bleed for this work. Yeah. And you know what though? I actually enjoy my own stories because after I write them, I don't remember all the words. So I can go and read them in a couple years. And
like,
you're
did
like,
I write
oh.
this? I know I
Yeah,
can't
you're
always
like,
remember all my characters or nothing either. I'm like,
exactly. You just remember the high level and you're like, wow, I was on fire that day when I said that. You're like,
I am, right? Like, did I say this? Now, what does like your all right? Well, all right. Let me go back a little bit. If that was your favorite, which one do you recommend readers start with when they want to like start with your work? Like, let's say like, hey, I've never read anything from you. What book should I be picking up?
okay, so I would almost say it depends on your reading style. Paris in Springtime doesn't require the commitment that Love, Sex, and Magic does and will require. Because Love, Sex, and Magic has to be read in order. Paris in Springtime does not. You can read them out of order. I will tell you, you'll appreciate it better if you read it in order, but you do not have to.
Okay,
It's a different couple every single time.
Okay.
And the only repeat people are the agency people. Sometimes you'll see other characters from other books, but I don't like reference them in such a way that you can't figure out what's going on or that you had to read that other book. Again, you'll appreciate it more, but it's not necessary. So I would say that, yeah, I would say, and then also too, Paris in Springtime has short books in it and long books. So if you need a quick read, because some people say like, oh, I wanted to read a quick read and this served me. I was like, yay, I'm glad. There you
go. Do the people at your job know that you do this?
Oh my gosh. Yes, they do. One of my coworkers read my book. I was in a meeting, like a serious meeting, said, I saw Tia on TV. Saw me on TV? I was like, how did you see me on TV? I don't know. He saw something on YouTube that was on his television. Therefore, he saw me on TV. I was like, wow. He's like, yeah, you used to have romance books. I was like, yes. So
Envy writes, nope, I'd get fired. So now I guess
I can believe it. I don't walk around advertising it a lot, but yes, people do know that I write romance books Fortunately, the place I work at doesn't have any what is it, the what they call it, the ethical clause. Long as
Yeah.
I don't try to like push my books on other people, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
That's there as far as they can consider it. So it's interesting.
What about your family?
I'm weird. My dad tried to read my books, and he was like, "Oh, this is what the young people are talking about." Like, Dad, you make it sound like you're all old. I think I had like a cousin who read my books, but most of my family, they are, yeah. Star Trek is as far as it goes for them.
Do they like, do they appreciate like your sex scenes and stuff, or do they get weirded out by that, or are they like, do they
I
ask you
own
inappropriate questions like, do you and your husband do this? Like I get asked.
My grandma told me I was naughty, but she said that for a different reason. My cousin, he read. I know he read my book. He read Shenanigans, and he said these scenes could be hotter. That's what he said to me. I was like, okay, I'll work on that, Chief.
Did you do that? Did you make things hotter after that?
I think so, but I don't know if he does. Who knows? That's relative.
Like I don't want to talk about this over Christmas dinner or anything like that.
Right. You know what? My family, we're pretty open and blunt. It's kind of creepy sometimes. So even if they did bring that up, I probably would retaliate by telling them more than they want to know.
Yeah.
And so that would be the end of that.
TMI.
They're probably afraid to ask me any questions about it. Oh, you finished? Meanwhile, I still have a lot of water.
Yours are drinking your water. Now, how about your husband's family?
They didn't say anything to me about the sex scenes, though they are still under the delusion that their brother doesn't have sex and never has. So
Do you have children?
maybe they're like, actually, we do not. So that probably supports
so they're
them.
like, oh, they're not doing it.
They
They're
don't do
just
anything.
no kids
They're
there.
just roommates.
I have a stepson, but me and my husband didn't have kids either, like none from my own body. So I wonder if they're all like, yeah, do they even? Yeah.
You know what? That's interesting. I probably should ask them that one day. But I'll tell you one thing that was embarrassing that happened to me when my husband and I were dating. I was all cute, wearing my I had this little skirt on and these little knee-high boots. And my future mother-in-law at the time said, "Oh, you look nice." I was like, "Thanks." I was just like, and she's just like, "Wow, those boots, where'd you get them from?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And I said, Bear, that's my husband, bought them for me. And she was just like, "Well, now you know what he was into." I was like, I was like, "Oh my God." Really?
Well, where did you meet your husband? Can I ask?
Yeah, that is quite a story, actually. I was in college. My husband is actually older than me. He's 9 years older than me. And my roommate and I were talking, and we were about to go away for winter break. And she was like, "Well, next year I'm going to get an apartment because we'll be seniors and everything, and I want to live on my own. So I'm going to find me a roommate." I didn't have a job, and I was on scholarship, so I was not about to go and try to survive on my own. Free ride. I'm not going to go get an apartment. So she puts an ad in on the internet, in Yahoo, back in the day when they used to have the Yahoo ads.
Yeah, I remember that. We're talking about
right?
yachts here, right?
Yeah. So I decided, you know what? Let me put an ad in for a boyfriend. I'm single and I'm tired of just, I said, I'm just tired of the rat race of trying to find someone, a soulmate. I just want to date somebody. I want to date lots of somebodies. So I put an ad in the newspaper.
Now, how old are you when you do this? 22, 24?
No.
Oh, older, younger?
Younger.
So you're like, I need a soulmate at 19, 20? Okay. I'm sorry. I just wanted to, like, so I know where we're at here. Okay.
Yes, I was trying to find a soulmate, 19, 20 years old. Yes, I was.
Mm-hmm. So you put your ad in to Yahoo. Okay. Did you ask for a sugar daddy? Was that in your ad?
That's what I should have asked for. Okay. Now I know. But no, this was feminist me. I could take care of myself. I'm going to ride on either my intellect or a job. I'm still like that, but still. So I put an ad in Yahoo Ads, and I will tell you, I was biology pre-med at the time. So I put future doctor seeks patient man. Wow. I went on lots of dates.
You did get a lot of dates?
Got a lot of dates. Wow. I did. At one point, I was dating 6 dudes at one time. I was having a great time.
6 dudes?
Yeah.
Like all age ranges and everything, and
yeah, they were all over the place.
Yeah,
they were all over. Yeah.
Do you wish it was like a reverse harem where you could have just kept them all, or yeah? Hey. Selena writes, it sounds like a romance on its own. Okay, so
it does. Now that's saying out loud.
Now you're husband's one of 6.
Yes.
Okay, so he had to overcome 5 other suitors for your.
He did. And you know, time ticks on, and eventually it's just him. Because now I got to do homework.
Now, yeah, you know, everyone's. How did hubby win this challenge?
How did he win? Oh wow, patience, humor, lots of gifts. No, so he did give me lots of gifts, but that's not really why I picked him. Patience and humor, for real. But it was funny because he used to tease me. Okay, so another thing about me, in college, I was not putting out. Okay, I held out for marriage, which is another reason I was looking for soulmate. So
you were a virgin?
I was.
You've only been with your husband?
Correct.
Oh my God, guys! Oh my God, this is a romance novel.
Yeah, think about that again when you read them hot scenes now.
Oh my God, 6
virgins have a lot to think about.
Made the best suitor win to take her virginity. Wow.
Yes. He won. He married me.
He married you. Young that bows down. So he was ready. He was like, I gotta get her the ring on because I gotta have her. I gotta.
He gotta have me. Yee. Oh, and he waited a long time too. I made him wait. I had to be sure. He wasn't just trying to trick me.
Oh my God! So he was very patient then. He was
very patient, and I gave it all to him when the time came.
You're like, take it all, take everything. Here's my body, have it all. I want
have it all. You have won.
Oh my God, you have won. It says her game is so strong. Wow, you should definitely write this story.
And they teased me about that in college. They said that my stuff was like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You could smell it from a while away.
He had to have it. He's like,
yes, this is my twin. And so the reason why they were like that was because he was such an attentive boyfriend, which he was. And then I remember I had senior year, I had 8 o'clock class every day. And there were a couple days where I had a 12-hour day where I had labs. It was just like ridiculous. And so I was mad because I was missing Sailor Moon and wasn't able to tape it because I'm a big anime fan. You know what he did? He went out and bought me a VCR.
Oh my God.
So that I could tape it.
So you said he's older than you. So what was he doing when he answered this ad? He's like, "Hey, saw your ad."
Yeah, wait, I think he was just cruising ads to be nosy or something. I don't know what he was doing. I should ask him that. What were you doing?
And was
Lying?
he working or was he also in school?
No, he was working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was working.
So he brings you home to his mom and dad in your boots and the skirt.
Yeah.
One of the many gifts. He's like,
Yeah.
I have conquered 5 other suitors to win her hand.
He didn't know he conquered 5 other suitors until much later.
he's like perseverance and patience.
Yeah, he thought he was the only one.
That is hilarious and so sweet, though. Such a sweet story. Was he thrilled to get his reward on his wedding night? Was this like his?
He was quite thrilled.
He was like, yes.
He was thrilled on the regular.
He's like, he's still thrilled. This is gold, right? It's gold.
Yeah.
That's what I tell my husband all the time. I'm like,
he's a player.
Oh goodness, my hubs needs friends. Okay, Selena wants to like do a double date. You and her and your 2 husbands from the Caucasus Mountains. Virginal heroines that you guys were before you got married, both of you. And you know, she's sure that you guys are soul sisters, just like, you know, coming
cool.
together. So maybe I'll see a collab in the future, like an anthology of beautiful African American women with their, you know, ghost husbands, virgins, you know, whatever it might be. Wow, that is just so beautiful, though. That's such a great story. I love that.
Maybe we'll meet up at Tommy's.
Caucasus Mountains unite. So, so your husband, how long now have you been married then?
Oh my gosh. Are you ready?
Ready.
It will be 19 years in October.
Wow, 19 years. But you seem happy. It seems like
I am happy. I am very happy with him and his crazy butt. He is hilarious. He says it's me. Don't believe him. It's not me. Yeah. He says I'm crazy as a bed bug and I'm spooky, but it's not me.
Okay. Well, we're 19 years. I can't say nothing. I'm going on 18 years here in September. So, yeah.
I was with him like almost all my adult life.
I wasn't a virgin though when I went. So.
Different strokes for different folks.
I know, right? Marriage goals, Selena Michael, right? Okay. It's like I'm like 7 years. I know I gotta check Facebook. And Envy writes, I stay single. Oh, Envy hugs you. It'll come. You can't rush these things. There's always, you know, Yonder writes 10.5. Now,
take your time.
I got like 2 minutes left. I was gonna ask you 2 more questions. One was gonna be like, what does your writing day look like?
My writing day starts at 5 a.m. I work out, and then I write from 6 until 7, and then I go to my day job. Day job ends at 4, we hope, and then I will either do more writing or work on marketing materials for my books and promoting myself till like dinner time, and then husband and I eat dinner and goof off and laugh at the people in the Geico commercials and things. He loves the History Channel. Watch the weirdness there.
Who does the cooking in your house?
Husband. I don't cook.
Oh my God, you made him wait, and he does the cooking. Oh my God, like. Oh my God, poor husband's like.
It's too bad I can't get him to do other housework.
That must be, no, seriously, that must be some fucking real gold there. He's like, I'm cooking, I'm worshiping, I'm buying her boots and VCRs and whatever she wants to keep that around. So, well, I'm running out of time. I got a minute or 2 left. What do you want readers to know, like about you or your work or your books? Like, what do you wish readers knew about you?
that I want to entertain them. I want to entertain them, and I want them to fall in love with my characters. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh, well, do please, after our interview, go on and drop some links and stuff, either in your event page or on my main thing, so that Selena and Yongda and all the rest of the readers in the group, Envy and stuff, can go and find your work and give it a try, and
Yeah, great.
and see what's at. And we'll be in comments, guys. I always stop in the comments to answer any questions I might have missed during the live, because I'm trying to read and drink and scroll and laugh, and so I sometimes miss questions. Envy, I see you, honey. You were there too. Which I appreciate, because I know Envy had other things she could be doing tonight, and she came out to be with us, because me and her share. I know, right?
Thank
She's
you,
so
Envy.
great. Great interviews coming out from Andrea, so we appreciate. I'll just so you know, Tia, I will download this probably tomorrow and upload to YouTube so you can share with your followers. I don't know if you have a reader group, but all that information.
I do.
Okay, so we can all join your reader group. I know Selena wants to definitely join, I'm sure. She said she'll slide in your DMs. I saw that earlier. So so you've made new fans and new friends, and we're so glad and so grateful that you came on tonight to talk to us here at
Thank you for having me. I had a great time.
Me too. So all right, you take care, Tia. Thanks again. I'll see you in comments and on the group. Bye. Why is this closing?
I don't know.
I'm sitting here holding my spot like I normally do, and it won't even shut off. Oh my goodness. This thing today has been weird. I'm telling you, Facebook hates me. Again. Bye.
Bye.